Literacy Identities and Sponsors of Developmental Writers. A young male student in my developmental writing co-requisite course described his memories of writing in school as follows. After we would write something, we would give it to one of our peers in the class for them to read it over before we would turn in the paper. And I always remember that being embarrassing for me because I was never confident in my work. This sentiment, embarrassment, echoes some of the findings of Deborah Brandt's landmark study, Literacy in American Lives. In her chapter, The Sacred and the Profane, Brandt discusses the fact that for many Americans, writing is recalled in the context of humiliation and anxiety. As a community college instructor, I've witnessed the negative self-perceptions of students when it comes to both reading and writing for years. These beliefs seem to be particularly prevalent for students that are placed into my developmental courses, and they seem to be correlated with students' academic success. It has led me to question, how do students see themselves as readers and writers? And as an instructor, how can I help my developmental students be more successful? Brandt's work in Literacy in American Lives highlights the fact that our literacy identities are not the sole product of our individual development, but rather the result of larger social and economic forces. Brandt frames her discussion using the concept of sponsors, any agents, local or distant, concrete or abstract, who enable, support, teach, model, as well as recruit, regulate, suppress, or withhold literacy, and gain advantage by it in some way. In the course of her research, Brandt found that sponsors commonly took the form of influential individuals, but the idea of sponsorship has been extended to include educational institutions, literacy narratives, remedial courses, and essay prompts and pedagogy. These sponsors can be identified through examination of individuals' retelling of their experience learning to read and write in oral and written literacy narratives. As such, the purpose of this study will be to explore the literacy identities of students in my developmental English co-requisite course as expressed through literacy narratives, and identify opportunities to improve student success through positive sponsorship of literacy in the form of institutional practice, pedagogy, and coursework.